Welcome aboard. If you're watching this video, then let me be the first to say congratulations. You've recently downloaded the update for Tor browser, and this is your first official day of training.
Hang on. I was just trying to download a browser and I don't know what's going on. Where am I?
Oh no, you've got a lot to learn before you can properly use the Tor browser. You have chosen the gold standard in internet security, used by those interested in privacy and the scum of the earth alike. It's now your turn to join the diverse family of Tor users. But first, let's learn a little bit about where Tor came from. Part 1. From Humble Beginnings. After the war, the Cold War that is, the United States Naval Research Lab set out to create a protocol for the protection of online intelligence community interactions, using the basic concept of onion routing. This code was eventually released to the public, which paved the way for future researchers to expand on this concept. With some alterations, the onion router, or Tor network, was born. The application most people associate with Tor project is the web browser you just downloaded, and is downloaded by users like you around the world 100,000 times a day. Tor is now a non-profit organization based in the US and is responsible for maintaining Tor network software. Sounds like a lot of...
Hoopla!
Sounds like a lot
Hoopla!
of... Sounds...
Hoopla!
Sounds like a lot of hoopla for a simple web browser, right? Of course, there is more to the Tor project than just the browser. They created the protocol, the software that implements the protocol, and several other applications that use the protocol, such as an instant messaging service. They provide anonymized internet communication by directing packets through the Tor network. The protocol itself is the same for all services. Speaking of the protocol, Part 2. The Tor Protocol. Like the Vidalia onion, the official state vegetable of Georgia, the Tor protocol has many layers, and like the Vidalia onion, deciphering the complexity of the Tor network, or peeling back the layers, as it were, has been known to make grown men cry. And this baby. To continue the analogy, each layer is designed to secure communication like the luscious core of a Vidalia onion is secured by its layers. Each packet in the Tor network is given multiple layers of encryption at the source. These layers are then removed one at a time by each node along the path. The same thing happens in reverse for the response. To allow any of this to happen, a path is created with 3 different types of nodes. The outermost layer is decrypted by the guard node and is sent along to the middle node. These guard nodes are visible to the public and are entry points for messages in the Tor network. Because this node only decrypts one of the 3 layers, it knows the sender but does not know the message contents. The middle node receives messages from the guard nodes, decrypts the next layer, and sends the rest of the packet to the exit relay. Unlike the other 2 types of nodes, middle nodes are visible only to other Tor nodes and relays. This is a vital step because third parties will not be able to see the origin or the destination of the packet during this step. If there were no middle node, the owner of any guard node could see what exit node a packet is being sent to and know the message contents and the sender together. But the middle node makes getting this information together very difficult. What a relief. Finally, the exit node will remove the final layer of encryption and send the packet on to the final recipient. These nodes will be identified as the source IP address of data sent and can be monitored by outside sources. It knows the message contents, but not the sender, thanks to the wondrous works of the middle node.
Wait. How does each node know where to pass the packet to?
Haha, I'm glad you asked. If layering is the heart of the Tor network, then randomized paths are the liver and gallbladder. The path the packet will take is calculated at the client. The information about where to send the packet next is bundled within each layer of encryption. When the packet reaches a node, this layer is decrypted, and that information is used to forward the packet to the next relay.
Oh, okay. So how is the path calculated?
Well, this is the part of Tor that most users don't want to think about, and is in fact a centralized point of failure in the Tor network in a system advertised as completely decentralized. There is a distributed database of Tor nodes and their public keys called directory authorities. The Tor browser selects 3 nodes from this list of nodes randomly to use in a circuit.
Great. So what do you say we wrap this video up and get browsing?
Haha, not so fast, Eager McBeaver. We haven't even talked about what to do in an emergency situation. Like the lost gold of Atlantis, many consider their ability to privately communicate to be a treasure. And as with every treasure, there's a thief ready to steal it. So it's up to you to be the watchful eyes of... What's this?
It is I, Eaton, the depraved cyber villain feared by all network security textbook writers. I have come to reveal what you did on Tor last night. You wicked thief. You used BitTorrent to download the Parent Trap featuring Lindsay Lohan.
How did you know that?
Well, this attack is truly a sad one. Since BitTorrent accounts for 40% of Tor traffic, people sometimes forget that after the data comes out of the guard node, it is in plain text unless you encrypt it via SSL on the client. When you are seeding files you already have to peers on the BitTorrent network, your client sends your actual public IP address out in plain text, so peers know where they can get a file. Tor is doing its job by sending your actual IP address anonymously, but that isn't much use, is it?
I suppose not.
Tor gives users a false sense of security. In 2007, a security researcher set up 5 Tor card nodes and found that 95% of the outgoing traffic was unencrypted non-SSL traffic. Over the period of a month, he collected 250 usernames and passwords owned by government agencies and embassies worldwide. Since the main purpose of Tor is to hide the sender's IP, it doesn't provide encryption after it accomplishes that. I also saw that you logged into Facebook on Wednesday.
You scoundrel!
Well, it should go without stating that if you log into Facebook or something while using Tor, you've freely given your identity to Facebook. You're not browsing at Facebook anonymously when you're logged in, even if you're using Tor.
Wow, Bob. It's clear that you're really dumb. But do not fear. In the future, all you must remember is poop.
Who?
Yes. Proper operation offers privacy. As long as you remember poop, you can be sure that you are doing nothing on Tor to compromise your privacy.
Oh, poop. Well, now that I know poop, can I use the browser?
Not so fast, Mr. Bob.
Yeah, not so fast. I see you like to listen to Duran Duran's hit single Rio on anonymouslisten.com.
Ah! No! That site is for anonymous listening. You can listen to over 30,000 free hits in the United States and Canada without logging in. How did you do that?
I used a correlation attack using entry and guard nodes that I own. I used data like timestamps, receive frequency on the entry node, and send frequency on the guard node, and packet size to create a statistical correlation coefficient for each pair of packets that enter or exits one of my entry or guard nodes. If the correlation is high, I can connect the client's identification, which the entry node knows, and with the content, which the guard node knows. This occurred with your MP3 packets.
Wow, so you must own a lot of both kinds of nodes to capture one of my packets that went through both.
While I can't deny my collection of nodes is impressive, I had a little help. I used an additional attack called a sniper attack to shut down nodes that are not mine to increase the likelihood packets traverse my nodes. Shutting down a guard node is simple. I use my computer to create a circuit with a target guard node, and I send data, ignoring flow control, through the Tor network to a destination server that I own. I disconnect the server, and the buffer of the guard server fills up until the node process is killed by the OS. There's a similar process to shut down an entry node. Unfortunately, this does not work anymore thanks to a node software update, but this does not mean that correlation attacks are not a threat.
Well, gee willikers, that's pretty impressive. Good job.
And thus finishes emergency training. Now that you've learned the basics of your new browser, it's time for the moment you've been waiting for. You may now use the Tor browser update to order your contraband.